morning, guys. Welcome to Leftover Cake Chat. Kristen is traveling today, so we have Rachel here. Welcome, Rachel.
Hi.
Don't get so nervous. So Rachel is a photographer that we work with. Good morning, Debbie. Thanks for joining us this morning. Even though, Rachel, tell us a little bit about what you do as a wedding photographer, and then we'll kind of get into our topic of the week, which is food. Oh, wait. Cake. We forgot cake. Do you have cake?
I have
cake. Cake. Yay. All right. What kind of cake do you have?
I have some chocolate cake with chocolate filling. It's so good.
You know what? Chocolate cake is my absolute favorite. Good morning, Laura. Thanks for joining us. Kristen always jokes that I have chocolate cake every week, but in honor of Cinco de Mayo, since that is today, I got tres leche. I didn't make it, but my husband said, so we thought we'd celebrate with tres leche. Oh my God, it's so good.
This is so good. Can I eat?
Yeah. I wish I could eat chocolate cake every morning for breakfast, but you actually had a funny story. There was leftover cake last night at your wedding, right?
Yes, there was leftover key lime pie.
And then what happened to it?
It was dropped, so none of us had to take any. I was so excited to share the key lime pie for the show today. But nope, no key lime pie.
No, ended up on the ground. But as always, there was leftover cake.
Always.
All right, so as a photographer, doing lots of weddings in Key West, in Kentucky, you see lots of food.
Tons
of food. So what are some popular trends that you see? What are some things that you see that people put out that other people are like, they just kind of avoid it?
I think anything with sauces, especially down here in the heat, like most people that cook anything with sauces that could separate, people are kind of like, what is that? You know, a big thing down here is seafood bars. People love chilled shrimp and oysters and things that just not only photograph well, but just stay kind of fresh and cold. And that's our favorite here is the seafood.
Absolutely. We posted some pictures this week of seafood martini glasses.
Yes.
So they had seafood salad and they displayed it in martini glasses. And then also a raw bar that had exactly what you were talking about. The shrimp, the oysters, stone crab is super popular. All of those sort of things. And now, do you take pictures of all the food?
Every day, like every time. So what we like to do is like during cocktail hour, while one photographer is shooting, it's usually just all the couples, I'll go over and shoot the food. The one thing that I love are like when the vendors, I think definitely Catered Affairs does this big, huge boat and they fill it with ice and then do the chilled shrimp and the oysters. And, you know, the seafood bars, again, are my ultimate favorite, but then you've also got to keep in mind dinner plates are not always photographed, but then buffets are. So some of the things that look really nice on buffets are the fresh salads and things that, you know, don't really have another ingredient to where it mixes. My favorite though is cupcake sushi. That's one of my favorite things to photograph. And that's of course at the end, but that also photographs super well.
Absolutely. And for any of you out there that does not know what cupcake sushi is, we will definitely post that. It's probably one of the most creative desserts I have ever come across. So we will definitely get Lori on the show. She actually does a delivery every Sunday morning, so she'll have to get somebody to do that delivery so she can be on the show one morning. But good morning, Carrie. Thanks for joining us. So other food. So you said dinner plates don't get, if you're doing a plated dinner or something like that, that's hard to get photographs of because you know the staff bring them out and it's hot and they want to serve it, right?
Yeah, you don't really. I mean, like I'll snap. Like last night, they had some salads, and I'm just like, hey, let me snap that really quick. But you're not gonna, you know, have as much time when you do a plated dinner because, as you know, especially with your husband, like these guys have to get this out. Like it's hot. You know, if a photographer's stopping the flow of dinner, that's no bueno for sure. No pun intended, because it's Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah. What are you doing to our food?
Yes. They do not like it.
That's so funny. So I also like, a big thing that I like is Action Station.
Yes.
With the chef attendants out there, somebody either carving something, you know, whole fish, they can carve that. They can carve any sort of red meats, anything like that. Prime rib is popular all across the country. Prime rib is popular. It is Cinco de Mayo, so we have a lot of taco stations. Traditionally, people don't necessarily think of fish tacos, but here in the Keys, a lot of people will do fish taco stations. So those are always fun and popular, and the colors in that with like the different toppings and stuff, that probably photographs pretty well.
Yeah, we did a ceviche bar last night, which was really quite nice. Again, seafood on ice. It was amazing. And then last week at the Casa, they did tuna on a salt plate. And then they had somebody there with the heat, just kind of like cooking it on location. So that was also a good station kind of example that works really well.
And I think guests like that, right? Because
I love it. Yeah.
There's interaction. It's not just food on a plate that they can go out and get at a restaurant, any other night of the week. It's something creative. It's something different. Most of the time, the chef attendants are pretty interactive and joke around and kind of put on a little bit of a show. So I feel like action stations are a lot of fun for guests.
Yeah. And then recently we did a s'mores station, which was fun because the guests were actually interacting. So even at dessert, so it was kind of like an interactive meal, but everybody just kept talking throughout as far as like building your plates from the shrimp appetizers to the tuna being cooked right in front of you and then to make your own s'mores. Dinner became something more than just sit down, eat a plate of dinner and be done. So the stations, I think, are probably the number one thing here in Key West right now.
And
sure.
it kind of makes your event because it kind of spreads it out through the night. It's not everything at once and then, well, what else are we going to do? We're just going to dance. It gives people something to do throughout the time frame.
Right. I love it.
We've done s'more stations before where it's actually like fire pits where people can go up either on the beach or they've gotten fire pits where it's pavers or something like that, and they have actual fire pits where people can go up and make them there as well. So that's a lot of fun. If you're having kids at your wedding, consider that. Think that through pretty well. Nobody's probably going to be watching them at that point when that station comes out.
Yes.
But always think through that. There's a lot of different fun things that you can do. My thing is when I go to an event or when I'm sitting down and talking to a client about food, I always ask them, what's your favorite food? Like, this is your wedding. Have your favorite food there. Have something that kind of, is so exciting. I know I was meeting with a couple one time and the groom was like, look, I love macaroni and cheese. Like, I love it. He's like, I don't care if it's the Kraft macaroni and cheese that's yellow that comes out of a box. Like, put it out there. I want macaroni and cheese at my wedding. Yeah. And I was like, look, we can certainly do macaroni and cheese. I can guarantee you the chef is not going to serve Kraft macaroni and cheese. But you can get fun and creative with some things like that. The truffle lobster mac and cheese. Mix in something that's a little creative, but then something that, again, that your guests can't just get every night or every day, but keep it kind of relative to you and what you like. So I like seeing that and the couples incorporating their favorite foods into the items as well.
Yeah. Chicken and waffles, also a great idea. They do little portions of the waffle and then just like a little like chicken nugget, still again, kind of bite-sized. Some people go overboard with the, past hors d'oeuvres at cocktail hour where people can't really fit them in their mouth. And it's like, okay, we got a little creative, but to keep things like pretty small, not only do they photograph well, they also kind of, your guests enjoy them without feeling like they're kind of juggling a drink and a big old bite of something. But chicken and waffles, I saw that once and I'm like, that's a great idea.
Absolutely. I actually had a couple that they met at breakfast. Yeah. They were out and they met at breakfast and their dinner was breakfast. So the entire menu for dinner was created around breakfast because that's when they met.
What a cute idea. That's awesome.
It was a cute idea. Yeah. They were also on a budget, which helped tremendously. So food can help create your wedding. People don't necessarily think of that. But the interaction with the guests, the cute pictures that you get afterwards, because I can't imagine the pictures that you would get at a station with, the kids or the bridal party, the bride and groom interacting with the chef, the laughter, the smiles, like those are things that people are going to remember, and that's going to be such cute pictures in the end too.
For sure. Action shots. Who doesn't love that?
I know.
You go through all of these kind of moments where we do have to get those few formal photos, but at night it's just kind of nice when people are having fun for me to just step to the back and say, hey, let's capture this as it happens. And if someone's just sitting down eating a plated dinner, it's not going to be nearly as exciting for me to go around and get them, doing that. So again, that's why more couples are kind of going to that station fun, interactive thing so that you're not spending so much time at the dinner table and your photographer's just kind of waiting for everybody to finish.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we know plated dinners are a lot more traditional.
Yeah.
But at the same point, you made a great point by saying your guests are just sitting there. They're sitting there waiting for the salad to be served. They're sitting there waiting for the salad plate to be taken away. They're sitting there waiting for this. There's a lot of sitting and waiting instead of an action stations or buffet. Your guests can be up and moving, mingling, sit down and eat, go grab something at the bar, get some food. So it's kind of more fun and it's for your guests. And again, most of the time the buffets and the action stations are going to be things that can be a bit more creative for your guests. You do have to have a bit more budget. Buffets and stations cost a bit more than plated, so just keep that in mind. But, your planner can definitely make that work within your budget. You can cut a little bit here to add a little bit more. It adds to the guest experience. So that's something that you always want to consider. Use and do things that you like, but do things that your guests are going to remember and enjoy.
Yeah, it's a great topic because it's not something anyone talks about until the day of the wedding and you're in it and you're kind of like, oh, good job. Yeah.
Thank you. We try to think of those things that people may not consider, but obviously things that we see on, a weekly basis at our weddings where people are just kind of bored sitting at the table or they're like, my favorite food is this. How do I get it into how do I get it into my wedding? How do I make sure that it happens? And it's really just working with creative people around you that will make it happen for you. Me being a planner, I definitely have the luxury that my husband is a chef. So when I get all these crazy ideas, I can go to him and say, is this doable? Like, will it turn out well? So I definitely have the luxury of being able to do that.
Now, quick question, like as a chef, do they prefer stations versus a sit-down dinner? Do you know that? Like, is that, I guess I don't know if they can say that because I'm just curious what they think. Temperature-wise, I'm curious.
Yeah, I think it really just depends on, when you're outside and you're doing an outdoor event, you really have to consider that. If it's super windy, if it's super hot, if there's no shade, do you have the right equipment to do that? So I think a lot of it is everything that we talk about. There's so many different options, but it wouldn't be able to work at every venue just because they don't have the proper equipment to be able to do that. Yeah. I think that if it's a true banquet chef, they're not going to care whether it's plated or buffet or stations. They have their own goals and kind of their own standards, and they kind of really push to that. I know my husband, when he's doing a plated dinner, he's kind of weird, but that's okay. He's my husband. He actually keeps track of how long it takes him to plate certain meals, and every time he plates a meal, he tries to beat his previous time.
That's why I'm on my side.
Yeah, well, and it's great for the guests too, because that's going to ensure that, their food's coming out hot, it's coming out on time, those sort of things. So, as far as the chef goes, it's just really having somebody talk to them and make sure that they're comfortable with the food that's going out. I know that I've had some crazy ideas in the past, and they've looked at me and they're like, Erin, that sounds great, but the execution. And that's what you really need to confirm is that the execution will work.
Awesome.
So, all right. Well, one thing, and I see you have your puppy on your lap. I have one here.
Ooh, that's Connor.
It is the beginning of the month. It's the first Sunday of the month, and we always, as you know, do a love mission of the month, which is giving information out about a organization that helps animals and helps pets, and we found a great organization this month. They are out of Tennessee. It's Working Dogs for Vets. And basically what this organization does is it takes sheltered animals and it pairs them up with disabled veterans. They work with the veteran and with the animal to get the animal trained as a service dog. So it's a great organization. It not only helps sheltered dogs find a forever home, but it helps our disabled vets being able to, I saw the wave from Connor, it helps the sheltered, or it helps the veterans be able to have that companion that they need to do better in life and to give them, you know, maybe that little extra smile or comfort or love that your animals give you on a daily basis. So we are really excited to kind of promote and get out there Working Dogs for Vets. We posted a blog. It's on our site. If you guys are able to, there's a link in there. Donate, help, support, share, spread the word. It's a great organization. It is non-for-profit. So anything that we can do to adopt and not shop, as well as, in this case, partner with our veterans. So we're super excited. Rachel, I know you have a couple dogs over there, so I know animal rescue is important to you as well.
Very much so. The other one was on my lap earlier, but he's over here now. You can see him.
Oh, taking a nap. I know, my two are, well, I have one on my lap. The other two are sleeping too. So that's a good thing.
Awesome.
All right. Well, Rachel, we are super excited that you joined us this morning. Thank you so much. I know you had a wedding last night and another one tonight, so it's a busy weekend for you.
Yes.
We will make sure that your website is posted on our page, and anybody that needs a wedding photographer, please reach out to Rachel. She's great, highly recommended, and she would do a great job for you. So thank you again for joining us.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.